Okay, so today I'm going to show you a little warm-up I like to do. Mostly I do this prior to jiu-jitsu, but you can do this anytime you want. It's something you can do at home. It'll take you about 5 minutes to go through the whole procedure. It's a very good warm-up. It gets your body nice and loose. It gets your muscles warm, and it's also going to get your joints ready for movement. Okay, so it's like I said, primarily I do this prior to jiu-jitsu, but it's just good for your body, and you can pretty much do this anytime. Okay, so to start off, I'm doing this on a matted surface. If I do this at home, I would usually lay out like a little mat I have home, or a yoga mat would be nice, or if you have a nice carpeted floor, that'll work well, just as good. So I'm just going to start off sitting down on the floor here, and I'm just going to start rolling on my back. Okay, just nice and easy. Just trying to roll out my spine, keeping myself nice and tight in a ball, making sure that my spine is curved as I'm rolling over. I'm not just flopping straight back. After a few seconds of doing this, I'd like to add a figure four with my legs, where I put in one ankle behind my opposite knee and holding it until I get back to the top again. You can use your hands to hold this. Doesn't have to be like hands free or anything. Okay, you can work on it. Use your hands, don't use your hands. What is important though is that when you get to your shoulders, reach up your hips for it. Okay, get that extension. Okay, and after a few times of this, now I'm going to roll out again just a couple times. And now I'm going to bring my ankles and my knees together as I go on the top. I'm going to get that same extension I got before in the figure fours, but I'm going to rotate a little bit to the side. Okay, go back, a little bit of a rotation. I'm keeping my feet together, my knees together. I'm extending my spine as I go up onto my shoulders and just bending my knees a little bit, and I'm going from side to side. And I'm going to do this for a little bit, and then just a couple of straight out rolls again. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to what we call a combat base position, where I'm just going to roll up onto one knee. So I'm going to come back. One leg is going to bend down. One leg is going to go forward. And I'm coming up and pressing my knee forward. And coming back down. And going to the opposite side. Okay, I use my hand here for assist on one side because my knees hurt. On this side, I don't need my hand as I come through. One leg folds under, one leg goes forward. Drive the hip forward, drive your knee straight over your toes. Roll side to side. You can start off using your hand as an assist and try and get to the point where you can do it without that hand. Okay? And then I roll it out a little bit again. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of my feet and I'm going to go over one shoulder. Okay, so I'm moving my head to the opposite side of the shoulder I'm going over to create space. As I roll over my shoulder, making sure I don't go straight back over my head. And I'm touching both of my feet to the mat behind me. If you can't reach it, just practice by going over one shoulder from side to side. Okay, and after I do this for a while, I work into a full back roll, where I go all the way back. Then I went over my right shoulder. Now my left shoulder comes in, and I roll forward again. This time I'm going to go over my left shoulder and bring my right shoulder back. Okay, I just go side to side. If you can't do this yet, it's something to work towards. I missed on that one. Okay, so I'm basically just rolling on my back a lot, and I'm going through that whole sequence there, okay? If you can't do everything, start it off just nice and easy, okay? You can start off just rolling. Make sure you keep that spine rounded so that you're rolling over and not dropping flat, okay? If you can't go all the way over your shoulders, just try and go side to side a little bit the best you can. Just do this the best you can do, and just try and build off it. If you can't, extend your hips up when you do your figure 4 lock, and just work to it. Do the best you can. Okay, you can progress at your own, okay? Start easy and just try and add to it. So the next section of this is bridging, okay? So for the bridging, I'm just gonna start laying flat, okay? Bridging is just bringing my hips up, okay? My shoulder blades are staying down, and I'm just driving my hips, okay? I'm working extension on my hips and my glutes, okay? And I'm just bridging, okay? So this is just a basic bridge. So what we're gonna start to do now is, you can bridge a couple times, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it over one shoulder, and I'm gonna add some spinal rotation here, okay? As I reach, okay? So I'm bridging over my left shoulder, reaching with my right hand over my left shoulder. Now I'm bridging up. I'm onto my right shoulder. My left hand is reaching over that right shoulder as far as I can reach. Feet close to the butt, bridge up over the shoulder, and reach. And reach. If you have to, just start off by just bridging. Shoulder to shoulder until you get used to it. And then when you can, add that reach to it. Boom, okay? And then from there, we're gonna bridge up. I'm gonna add a hip switch, which brings us more spinal rotation now, okay? So I'm gonna bridge up onto my right shoulder. My right leg now is gonna fold inside. My foot is going under my knee. As I continue to drive it through and roll through it back up to my hand and knee position here, my elbow and knee position. Once I get to this position now, I'm gonna reach my hand up, open up my hip, slide through, lay flat. This time I'm gonna go the opposite way. Going up over my left shoulder, my left leg bends under. Continue to roll through, come to this hands and knee position here. Okay, I'm gonna open up my hip. Okay, I'm bringing my hand to my hip. I'm opening up my knee and going onto my foot as my opposite leg slides through, and I go back again. Bridge, fold, hands and knees. Hand to the hip, open the knee, slide through, lie flat. Bridge, fold under, hands and knees, hand to hip, open up, slide through, and come back again, okay? And then from there, I'm gonna start off on my back. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna roll to one side, okay? So I'm gonna go to my right side, shoulder to my elbow to my hand, okay? From this position, I'm gonna keep this foot planted. This knee is gonna come up, okay? I'm not trying to keep it down. My hips are now gonna rise up. I got this knee opened up, okay? I'm not bringing it forward. I'm keeping my hips open, okay? And I'm driving my hip up as I come back down. Shoulder, elbow, hand, foot planted. My right foot and my left hand are my stabilization points, okay? My left leg is staying in that same position where I'm on the side of my foot and my knee is opened up, opening up my hips. This hand I'm just keeping nice and high here as I come up and drive my hips forward. Okay, it's another form of a bridge. If you're familiar with the Turkish get-up, this is a half Turkish get-up basically, okay? Roll to the side, shoulder, elbow, hand. Drive the hip, come down. Elbow, shoulder, hand. Drive the hip, come down. Elbow, shoulder, hand. Drive the hip, come back down. Okay? The last thing we're gonna do is, in jiu-jitsu it's called shrimping. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off laying on our back. We're gonna go to the side and we're gonna basically go into our fetal position. So what we're doing here is we're working our hips, okay? We're working hip flexion here. So I'm starting off, one leg goes straight, roll onto my side. I'm gonna use hip flexion, okay? Pushing my butt backwards as I bring my knee and my elbow together, using this leg for as a pivot point, okay? And I'm kind of almost going into my fetal position here, but this leg is staying supported, right? Now from here, I'm just gonna push it back the opposite way. Leg comes up, opposite leg drives straight. So I got my leg straight, that's the side I'm rolling to. Pushing my hips back as I bring my knee in. So now I'm working my hip, I'm working my shoulders, okay? I'm working. And I'm gonna go from side to side. Pick up the pace. Okay? After a while of doing this, now I'm going to add a double into it. Straight. 1, step out. 2, go straight. Shrimp, step out. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. He comes to elbow, push her straight. And the last thing I'm going to do is it's a version of what's called a cross shrimp, where I'm just crossing over from side to side. I do something a little different than a typical cross shrimp, because what I'm trying to do is keep continuous movement in my hips. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to pick a side. I'm going to do my basic shrimp out. The leg that's supporting this time is going to step over. Now this leg is going to come underneath as I bring my hips through, change my position and step over. I'm just going to go side to side with this. Continuous movement. Keeping my hips going side to side. Sliding under, stepping over, sliding under, stepping over. And keeping my hands in like a T-Rex type position here. Doesn't really matter if you're not doing this for jiu-jitsu, if you're just doing this for the movement. If you're doing it for jiu-jitsu, get used to keeping your hands in a safe position, keeping your elbows tight. And that's a little flow I like to do to get myself warmed up. I don't count reps. I just basically go for a period of time where I feel loose. I go by feel mostly. I don't have a buzzer going where every 30 seconds I'm changing. If you want, you can do something like that. You can set a little buzzer that goes off every 15 seconds and change it, or every 20 seconds until you start building up some stamina with this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Rich. You can go to richsaab.com, force10fitness.com, or you can just email me directly at sabjits@yahoo.com.